So here's the deal. I sit down and I do family consultations all the time. I chat college with families on a regular basis. And I want the student there. And I ask the student often, like, tell me about schools you're interested in. And they often will come up at least mentioning one of these top three schools very, very often. And you can see the price tags associated with those top three. I also haven't met a kid yet that doesn't want to go to Colorado to school. So I've included Denver here. You can see there's another private listed here. The bottom three schools, though, most importantly, are the flagship schools of their state: University of California, Berkeley, Penn State, and University of Minnesota. And you can see that these schools are hovering in that $30,000 to $35,000, $36,000 space. UT also fits in that space. So it's important to think. When I started college search with my kids, I told them the same thing. Like, I don't care where you go, as long as you stay in the state of Minnesota and at a state school, because I perceived the public institutions to be the less expensive option. But it turns out that a lot of those schools closer to the top of this list, not the top three, but some of these other schools actually have the ability to alter their pricing and will do so. And we're going to talk about how that works here in just a few slides. So the goal here is to help families think a little bit more strategically about college search and not just do the search with their heartstrings, right? That's kind of how families do it today. And what I want to be able to do is bring the business side of college, because the colleges are thinking about it that way. They are making business decisions when they accept students and when they give away money. I want to bring the business side of college a little bit closer to how families think about college search. So I have another quiz for you. What percentage of kids transfer at least one time during their 4 years? Is it 6%? Is it 14%, 25%, 38%, or 50%? I'll give you a second to think about this. What percentage of kids who go off to school change their college at least once? The national transfer rate today sits at 38%. So why am I bringing this up? Why did I drop this in as a new fact for us to learn? Here's why. Because if your student transfers just one time, it actually increases the cost of their degree by $14,000. And I got news for you. Of the 38% of kids who made a poor choice the first time, 45% of those kids make a poor choice a second time, increasing the cost of their degree by $24,000. Now, here's the deal. This is a state school to state school number. These are state school to state school. This doesn't even include the private colleges, right? So it's so important for families to get it right the first time. We don't want launching more and more cost on top of what is already an expensive venture. So Cece mentioned that I do free consultations. I do these every day of the week. I love these. I got into this because I care about this process. It makes me crazy that the colleges lack transparency. And so happy to sit down with you and chat through your own personal college search. These are great tips. They don't fit every single family. And so I'd love to deep dive with you. What are we going to do in our hour together? Well, I'm going to answer your questions around college search. We can talk about those goal areas: academic, social, financial, and then I'll suggest some strategies. I will leave you with some ways to start to think about it. I can give you a rough of the outcome of your FAFSA, that EFC, or now Student Aid Index, and suggest strategies then. What pathway should you be looking at? Should you be looking at a mix of schools that bring both need and merit to the table? Or are you indeed the family that is not going to qualify for need-based aid? So let's really focus on merit and how to think about that.